as well.
Yeah.
Ah!
All right, episode 2. I've got it. And I'm just going to launch into the theme.
Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Autopod Decepticast, where we provide a minute-by-minute breakdown of the 1986 Transformers movie. This is episode 2, where we cover second 61 through the up to the 2-minute mark.
Did you just not do the math?
I'm not good at math, guys.
I would just say this is the second minute of the movie.
Maybe I like to stretch things out.
Okay.
Maybe I like the longest version of anything.
Okay.
I'm the type of person that says...
I think people already got the idea that you like the longest version of things here.
Whoa.
Wait,
Are you being
sexual.
sexy? I mean, long and skinny? Okay,
we'll just let that live there.
All right, so minute 2, guys. So
Also, I'm Ryan.
Oh, how about I do some intros? I'll introduce you in a minute. Just wait.
Okay.
I'm going to skip over
Yeah,
to this guy.
excuse me. Hi, I'm Caleb.
And now you may proceed.
I'm Ryan.
And we are your hosts as we take you along this 90-ish episode journey, breaking down the Transformers movie minute by minute.
It's already out.
Yep. I am so tired. Okay, so this is episode 2, where we kind of open up on some recreational activities on this planet of Lithone's, and
That's right.
we're going to end probably with a little bit of horror, really.
Yeah. I guess, the last where we last left off, Unicron was
It
closing
was
in.
their 9/11.
Ooh.
I'm invoking 9/11 up top.
That's good.
Jesus.
Inside job. Follow the money. Cui bono.
So wait a minute. So does that mean that they somebody told Unicron to come to their own planet and eat it?
Is Unicron a Muslim extremist?
Yeah. I didn't think this joke through.
Okay, all right. The very first top of this, we continue seeing. I think we understood it as a Lithone'S shopping mall.
That's what it seems to be.
Perhaps a food court. Perhaps it's a.
I don't see any shops. It just seems like they're walking around.
They are just walking
With potions and vials. And
Yeah, that was one thing I
different
had a
colored
question
liquids.
whenever I started watching this. Was like, oh, and this is before I realized it was a rocky planet as well. But I'm like, do they even have silica to make glass? But obviously they do. And so
They
that
have huge
was
open pits of lava.
pits of lava running through
massive canyons.
the world.
So they're
And
Why do
it's-
they need the glass though? Why wouldn't it just be a metal container or a rock container? I guess you could say the same thing about.
My question is, what's up with all the containers in the first place? Because you see all these containers.
What is up?
You see a guy bring a floating cart into a laboratory,
Sure.
and the guy's pouring stuff together.
Right.
And then Unicron comes. Those fall apart and break, and then it's done. I mean, do they ever circle back on what's going on with these guys with the potions?
No, they're just
So
they
you're
appear to be.
concerned with what
You call
is
them
happening
potions.
with all the liquid.
So I was gonna say they appear to be scientists or technicians,
magicians.
technicians of some sort coming to do science. But in your world of this, they're wizards.
Yeah, they're clearly space wizards.
It's an apothecary.
Yes.
I like that take on it.
But do they ever what were they doing? I thought maybe
Does that account for the beards and mustaches?
But seriously, all right, the kids are playing. Guys walking with some potions.
Levitating
Look, that
potion.
one guy's...
Really, those beakers don't have to be shaped like that. So that is more.
There's potions going everywhere here. Okay. All right. Right. He's brought the potions.
Thanks for the potions,
What minute
bro.
are we at here? We're at 1 minute 19 seconds.
Okay,
is
now.
where they-
Oh wait, now something's happening.
Wait,
There's a seismic
by the way,
activity.
121.
I guess the listeners know we're on occasion we're gonna rewatch footage and you're gonna hear us as we're watching it, right?
And just take it.
Did we
Yeah.
say that we're
Listen,
watching the movie minute by minute? I don't remember if
I
we
mean,
said that on this episode.
for clarification,
I think we did because you screwed it up. You were like 60 seconds to
we
2
don't-
minutes.
I don't
That's
think
right. That's
we-
right.
For clarification, if you've stuck around to the 5-minute mark, we are reviewing minute 2
And
of the
sometimes
Transformers, the 1986 animated
I think
movie.
that's fine. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to hold it against us that we can watch some of this footage
Well,
while we're
of course
discussing.
not.
And if
Of
you want to
course
watch
not.
it along with us, we started at the very beginning of where the De Laurentiis logo
Yeah.
comes up. So.
We're taking it from the very beginning to the very end.
I mean, where it says second one, it is really second one. It makes it just easier.
Yeah.
We don't want to add or subtract seconds.
Yeah. I mean, we're not obviously not good with math.
Okay, so
The Asian
121.
Space Wizards. Go ahead.
At minute 21, there's a rumbling to happen. We are seeing these jars sort of shake and shatter.
Which I love. I love this whole sequence. It's so awesome. It looks so great. Like that.
right.
What minute is it? 1 minute 23 seconds. What is that? Is that a guy?
the
I
animation
feel like
looks,
it's just the ceiling.
So the ceiling falls down. It
Ceiling
looks
falls
awesome.
in. They're
As
like,
a
what
kid-
the hell is that?
That's the okay. Here, let's just get into it. They know who Unicron is.
That is never addressed. How is it that they know who Unicron?
I-
Arbalest, look, it's Unicron.
Which as a kid, I thought he was saying marvelous.
I thought that too. That's in my notes. Are you reading my notes?
No, I have that written down too. And but that makes no sense because he'd be like, is he the Marshall Applewhite of this community? Like,
well, they thought he was so like.
Wait, maybe he's the person who brought Unicron here. He's the inside guy.
Cui bono, follow the money.
Unicron can't melt steel beams.
Inside job. Watch that documentary. It's truth. Anyway, yeah, but like I didn't know that. That's the thing is they name these people, but you'd have no context. So it's like, how would I know that? What's his name? Armabus or
Arbalest.
Arbalest?
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I didn't
Arbalest.
realize he was saying Arbalest until probably a few years later. There was a Marvel comic adaptation of this movie, and so you saw the names of the characters and the dialogue, and that's when I realized he was saying.
By the way, Marshall
guy's name.
Applewhite was the Heaven's Gate cult leader who they all killed themselves.
Thanks for explaining 5
Maybe some
minutes
people don't
later.
I like to work.
You're going to be the
Marshall
Dennis
Applewhite.
Miller of this podcast, aren't you?
Oh, so I turned into a really crazy right wing guy at the end.
I think it's more about your obscure references.
Hey, cha-cha. Anyway, so we didn't know that
Okay,
was a name.
So I think it's safe to say that they probably.
How do they know who this guy is?
Well, I think it's safe to say two things: that they wrote in the whole potion things so that you had an effect of some rumbling happening. Because other than that, I don't know what kind of They're like, we're going to really drive this rumbling home. How are we going to do that? Let's put a bunch of delicate vials of wizard potion and then it spills. And then they're like, oh, how are we going to let them know who this guy is? Up front.
guess
So they're going to have
that's
to have
true.
some guy say,
So it's exposition.
marvelous.
But you don't
It's
have to. You don't
Unicron."
actually. I mean, I guess as a storytelling device, do you have to know who that thing is called
No.
Unicron at this point?
They probably thought the viewer. I mean, probably again, they're going to be selling toys, even though I don't know if they came. Did they immediately come out with the Unicron toy?
No, not forever.
So
there was
there was
prototypes that never
Yeah.
got
Never saw the light.
fully.
I guess they could have. He could have had the word Unicron written on him.
maybe a flag sticking up out of the back that just says Unicron,
Unicron.
like one of those message planes.
Sure, why not? Oh, that's great. What is he, a blimp?
I love you, Sally.
Yeah,
Will you marry me?
Yeah.
But they know who he is, and the thing is, like the Transformers, the Cybertronians don't know who he is, and they are directly connected to him because they have the one thing that can destroy him. not to jump ahead too
Excellent
far,
point.
but they have no fucking clue who Unicron is.
So these guys are-
They have to be told by one of these assholes that escapes the planet. I know I'm jumping way ahead.
Yeah.
And
but
they are, and these
That's
people
true.
are clearly assholes too.
these wizard assholes. Maybe these
Space
guys
wizards.
split off from Cybertron because of their wizarding religion. They weren't, they were discriminated against, and so they hopped off the planet to go found. This place is like the America of Cybertron.
Oh, I was thinking it's like the Vulcans and the Romulans.
Ooh.
Yeah, everybody, I'm working all kinds of stuff in.
So
Okay.
anyway, I shouldn't say anyway, like I'm dismissing anything. But one thing I noticed is these shots here, they get very shiny, a lot more like the potions.
Yeah.
Once the potions fall,
Yeah.
it seems like some of the animation quality changes.
It's something in Legend of Zelda when you say potion.
Yes.
The day the potions
Yeah,
fell.
it does.
Yeah.
It does get.
That-
It gets very bright, I guess.
Yeah, there's a lot of that animation technique,
It's
which I
awesome.
cannot figure out what it's called, but there's a lot of shininess going on.
A lot of shininess, a lot of layering of shading
Good
and
God.
highlights
Yeah.
and all of that stuff. It looks amazing.
This
These
part-
guys don't. A second 140. These guys
They don't
floating around the
match.
air. They don't look like.
They
It
don't
looks
match.
like a Mega Man villain.
Yeah.
yeah. What is going on?
It's so awesome, like the levitation of the stuff off the planet, the
By the way,
Unicron's
that's-
vacuum.
Yeah, so yeah, the
Is
Unicron's
awesome.
like, and
what's happening?
he's huge. We were discussing we were questioning how big is Unicron.
Mm-hmm.
He's clearly like much larger than the planet that he's getting ready to eat.
And like you said, Aaron, you said that you thought that this planet Lithone was about the size of one of Cybertron's moons,
Yeah,
which.
it's-
I think you're I
tiny.
haven't watched in a while. We'll have to wait and see, but I do believe Cybertron is larger than this planet.
I think so.
So he's turned on some sort of tractor beam or
Space wizard vacuum.
suction device. Yes, and he is getting ready to dig in.
I will say there's one thing, and if you play it, I will stop it whenever it happens. And I love all the animation of this, especially this part where he's plunging his tongs,
His horns.
his jaws into the planet. This part right here, where stuff starts floating up. It bugs me. What is
And that is at
1 minute 51
seconds.
seconds. It turns red. It bugs me because it's clearly animated. It's not going into his mouth. It's just floating up on the screen, and that has always
Well,
annoyed me because it's not like
I mean,
it doesn't work.
What now?
See, it's just flowing up, but it's not flowing towards his mouth.
I mean,
Even when I was a kid, that bugged me.
really?
Yeah,
You're a weirdo.
I know. I am alone, guys.
So okay,
You
this
might get some support out there from our
great.
from our listeners.
Great.
maybe this is how you'll find love.
Yeah.
Let's
Probably.
not even.
Lady viewers, Ryan is single.
Listeners, I am cripplingly
lady
single.
listeners, Ryan is single, and check out our website. A very handsome man, very available.
I know 3 ways to finger bang. I like to bring this to a screeching halt.
Okay, so Unicron has continued its approach, and as we close out this minute, we basically see some ships. They've yelled, "Get to the ships!"
It's our only chance.
It's our only chance, and we see these ships. There's a bridge on the way over. It looks like there's 3 escape hatches, and we don't know what's going to happen next from this point because our minute is over. But
Those ships, by the way, I think look really cool. I really like the way, everything about the design of these things I think looks neat. But I don't know. I've always really found those ships very cool looking.
yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
I validate
I agree.
your opinion.
A couple notes I have regarding Unicron and the design of the character. So there was an artist named Floro Derry who, and I'm probably mispronouncing that, so my apologies. Feel free to correct me. And he was one of the primary just illustrators, designers for the show. He simplified many of the designs of, and I'm definitely going to mess this up, Shohei Kohara, who was one of the original designers. He simplified them. In his early notes, which are pretty cool visually, and if we can find them, we'll put them up on the website. The early designs, Unicron was referred to as the Entity. before they had an
It's
official
like,
name.
Like Michael Myers was called the Shape in the script.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
And his design was based on Saturn. This sounds very convoluted.
Makes sense.
His design was based on the planet Saturn, and he kicked that off because Saturn sounds like the word satyr, which is a reference to the devil, or would that be satyr?
Satyr.
Okay.
Satyr.
Yeah, all right. Someday I'll learn to pronounce words. So the entity is a devil-like planet. And his notes actually, he did have some scale references. It says that the entity is bigger than Earth or Cybertron.
Whoa.
Earth's size is as big as one of the spheres on the rings of the entity. I'm glad I saved this for the end. I mean, we could have just cut off the whole 10 minutes of conversation. So Earth is as big as one of those bulbs that's on his
That's crazy.
ring.
That means this planet's enormous.
And also at one point before the entity was intended to have its own moon, but obviously that was scrapped.
Is that why in the toy he has a moon?
No, I think that toy has a moon. That was part of the Armada line, and all of those their gimmick was having little toys attach on, and it helps open up things. And
Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't think that's necessarily related, but what else, guys? Anything else you guys want to cover?
I mean,
on this
that's
episode?
really interesting because that's crazy.
That's really
like
big.
that would make him the size of like Jupiter.
Yeah, that's too big.
I'm just gonna look up.
I don't accept that.
Sorry about the clicking.
that gives me a lot of problems because that is crazy.
Is that where you draw the line
Well,
on with the wizard potions and the planet eater?
Of this show where robots turn into things, man, I cannot deal with it. Like, but that,
No,
I mean, obviously, I think they must have changed it later
scales-
because that would make sense. Galvatron would be like enormous, like whenever he's standing on Unicron.
Yeah. Well, there's
He'd
always
be the size of Earth.
this is back to my point about scale. Like they have to play back and forth with scale, just depending on the situation in the story.
Oh, sure.
So
Yeah, it's well known they played fast and loose with scale. One of the things that a very common argument in the community is that they want the toys, all these new toys that come out, the masterpieces. They want them all to be in the correct scale. But then when something comes out that seems a little bit off, people get in arguments about it. They break out the quote Sunbow charts that have the official scales, and then ultimately it ends in somebody saying, "Yeah, well, nobody really gives a fuck about those scales anyway." So, I mean, even when we get to the parts, and maybe we should save it, but whenever he's attacking Cybertron, there's parts where he is obviously way more bigger than planet Cybertron. And there's parts where he is actually standing on the planet, and he is smaller than the planet Cybertron.
He really is playing it out. He's like, if we wanted to destroy Cybertron, he has a real tough time with it. He's just like enjoying himself on that thing. Well, that's way ahead anyway. Right. But I love the design of Unicron. Like, it's very original and interesting, in my opinion. Like, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Especially like those, like we're looking at a diagram of him right now, and the like, I guess they're not asteroid impact spots, but like the circles of indents on him, where it's like a lower portion. It's just so cool. Like, I love it.
You can probably put this up on the website, right?
Yeah. I imagine.
And what is our website again, Aaron?
What a great transition. Please. Thank you for listening. Please visit us at the autopoddecepticast.com.
You can email us at apoddcast@gmail.com. Our Twitter is @apoddcast. Facebook, we're Autopod Decepticast. And Instagram, apoddcast.
I suppose you could send us a normal mail as well, if that's kind of your thing.
Are you going to give your address? Let's say your home address right now.
You should get a P.O. box.
Probably.
P.O. box. All right, well, thank you for listening, and we will holler at you later, man.
Yeah, we'll be back with
we can't end like that.
We'll be back with minute 3. So do your homework, and we'll talk to you next time.
All right, bye guys.